Peace, family. We here live at the one and only ACAF, and we got our guy all the way from the DMV, Asada. Welcome to ACAF, man.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
Yeah. First, before we get anything, I want to say, what's your thoughts about the space? How you like the space?
My first thoughts was the pulling up. I didn't know what I was pulling up to, and I seen what I said, oh, that's it right there. But when I pull up, I see obviously, you know, the roots, the African roots, the culture, very different. Smells lovely in here, and I see some very interesting artifacts, I guess, for lack of better terms, with all due respect. Yeah. Very interesting pieces of art here, and smells lovely. I'm really big on smells.
Right.
Smells set the tone.
Yeah, that's some of our butters and incense where we produce everything.
Make sure y'all check these people out if you in Philly. It's South Philly, right?
No, we in West Philly right now.
We in West Philly now.
Yeah, South Side of Market.
We in South Side Market.
Yeah. Now maybe actually, how is this Philadelphia compared to where you from?
So I'm from PG County.
Okay.
I'm from the PG County area of Maryland, which is, we can call it the DMV, right? Mm-hmm. So where I'm from, it's a lot more suburban than a lot of people realize. But from compared to the other major cities like Baltimore and DC, Philly has a lot of similarities to Baltimore. Mm-hmm. In regards to, I guess, demographics, if you will. And also to the way just the homes are structured. It's a lot of row homes here, just like in Baltimore. It's very, very, how do you say? It's very urban, I mean, for lack of better terms, right?
How was it coming up?
Well, I didn't come up in Baltimore, right? But I lived in Baltimore, right? And like I said, they got a lot of similarities to each other in regards to crime rate. They also have a lot of similarities in regards to a lot of black entrepreneurs as well, to where as though you see a lot of up-and-coming people, whether they be in the fitness realm, whether they be into the realm of holistic nutrition, such as myself, or even just in the realm of in music. I don't endorse or support music. That's not my thing. But even if you're in that field, I see Philly and New York, they have a lot of similarities, even with the lingo, the way that they speak, the way that they talk. It's a lot of similarities in that department as well.
Yeah. Philly like Baltimore, man.
Yeah.
Getting to more on your story, from me doing some research on you, you know, a lot of things start from like you come home from prison. So let's just talk about your time in prison. Like, well, what led you to go to prison?
I went to prison in 2015 for armed drug trafficking.
Okay.
I was 20 years old, Betty. I was 20 at the time when I went in. And it was my time to go. Just like it's, you know, when it's your time to transition to the next life, it was my time to transition and go into prison. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was facing 14 years. I told the state's attorney to, you know, go F yourself. I'm not doing that. And they came back with a better offer, and I said we can do that. So I didn't have any co-defendants or anything. I took my own time, and I had to sit. Actually, I got convicted to 5 years, came home in 4 years with good time, and after that, I just hit the ground running. I didn't. Wow. I moved very fast. I moved very urgently, because when you look like us, you don't have a lot of time.
That's right.
You don't have a lot of time, bro.
You gotta get it done.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. Did you start your calisthenics while you was in prison?
I started fitness in prison. I want to make that very...
Okay, different.
I want to just, you know, be very... I want to differentiate between the two. Obviously, calisthenics is pull-ups, push-ups, dips.
Yes, sir.
Squats, muscle-ups, etc. Mm-hmm. Yes, we did do that, but we combined it. What we know now is today is what I call performance training, where we tackle multiple different modalities and we bring them together under one umbrella. And that's what the Man-Time Fitness methodology is mainly incorporated with, as well as teamwork. So yes, I did start in prison. to correct you, yes.
Okay, so just explain the difference workout that you was doing while you was in prison to what you're doing now. Just the beginning stages of your. Yeah.
Yes. So when I was incarcerated, yes, primarily it was a lot of burpees, and then I started to get creative, right? Started to tap into, creative thinking and then implementing those thoughts into action to where as though I started to incorporate different variations of Navy SEAL type burpees with dumbbells. So we would go into the push-up position, come up, presses, squats, going back down into the push-up, repeating that same sequence with burpees. Hundreds of different variations we have came up with. That was the main component. And for the people that do know or may not know, I was in prison in the state of Maryland. Yes, we did have weights. So a lot of people hear, oh, they had weights in prison. Yes, they had weights in prison, of course. It just depends on where you were at.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of differences with prisons. I know like difference between prison and jail.
Yes.
You want to talk about that? Because a lot of people get that confused that don't know.
Jail is like I don't know if they have a city jail in Philly, I'm sure they do, but jail is where you go when you're arrested. You haven't been convicted. Most times, 9.9 times out of 10, if you're in a jail in the United States of America, you haven't been convicted to a serious enough crime to go to the Department of Corrections, which is the big house where you got hit with time. Now you got to serve time in a prison. Most times, if not all the time, it's in a bigger facility than a jail. Okay. And then you will be classified between either minimum, medium, or maximum, or supermax security based upon the level of your crime. So say hypothetically, if I caught an M1, first degree murder, may Allah protect us from that. I mean, if I was to do something like that, you're going to be at maximum security, 9 times out of 10. But say if I may have a drug offense, you may be minimum security. So that's mainly the difference. You don't have different security brackets in jail. That only happens when you go to DOC.
Understood.